Hello everybody, I'm back for episode 3. Um, welcome to everybody, old friends and new friends. Thank you so much to everybody that has liked and subscribed and left comments. It really does mean a lot, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, because it is, like I said on my second podcast, it is really nerve-wracking, and although I love to talk, putting yourself out there is a bit so thank you so much. For those of you that maybe have just stumbled across me, my name's Emma, and this is primarily a knitting and crochet podcast. And as I warm up more to it and do more podcasts, I'm sure that there'll be much more talking. I haven't had a very good week. My health hasn't been at all good, really, so I've been struggling with that. Normally I would have done this podcast by now so that it would be out already for you today. It's Wednesday today. Normally I'd do it Tuesday at some point, or early hours of Wednesday morning. But because it's been so hot here and the humidity really affects my pain levels, so I have been struggling with that. But I wanted to do my best, so I've slapped on some makeup, not so I don't scare you all, and yeah, ready to go. There was something else I was going to say, and you know what else I've not done? I bought myself a lovely little, I was just looking to see if it's there, it's not, a lovely little organiser book, and I was meant to write in there what I wanted to talk to you about and everything, and I've forgotten to do that, and I've forgotten the book. That's what I'm like. I do want to quickly say you can now find me on Instagram. I'm back on Instagram after quite a few months break, so you can find me. I will link it, or at least put it on the screen. It's Ems_crafts_ and chat, something like that. It's Emma's Craft and Chat, but yeah, in Instagram language. And you can find me on Ravelry, Red M36. Now with Ravelry, although I do like to go onto Ravelry and look at what people are doing, I'm really bad at myself at putting everything on there that I'm working on. I really don't do that. So yeah, I'm really bad at that. I just can't get to grips with Ravelry for some reason. It's a great setup, and I love that the knitting community and everybody can get there and share thoughts, patterns and everything else. It is really good for that. It's just one added extra thing that excuse me, that I'm not able to actually fully do at the moment. Right, so what have we been up to this week? Like I say, pain wise I have been really struggling, but I have got a finished object. Those of you that do follow me on Instagram will see that these are on there, and those of you that saw my last podcast will see that I really was not enjoy working on these. I think I have actually changed my mind, and I actually love the colourway and I love the pattern. I think maybe it was excuse me, how I was feeling mentally, because I do suffer with depression and the such as well. So I think sometimes when you're working on something, your mood can affect the way you feel about things, obviously, and I think that's probably what it was. But dun dun dun, finished for my, there is two, I will show you the other one. So they are now finished for my brother-in-law, and I've kept them back to show you, and I just got to get round to wrapping them up and getting them sent off. So that is a finished object. What else? Oh, I did finish something else actually. You know the twiddle muff that I'd started, the crochet twiddle muff in podcast 1? That ended up becoming a cushion. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, for those that suffer with Alzheimer's or dementia, and sometimes also people with maybe autism or anxiety, they benefit from either twiddle muffs, they're called, or twiddle cushions. And you can put on them whatever you want, so different pieces of fabric, buttons, maybe ribbons, maybe beads, so that they can literally sit there and twiddle. And just the feeling of that really helps to calm them down. So I ended up, I was getting bored again. I don't know what it is with me at the moment, I'm just getting bored with things. So I decided I'm not going to do a twiddle muff, I'm going to do a twiddle cushion. I'm hoping, because I haven't got it here, I have wrapped it up. It's not posted yet, but it is wrapped up to go to my friend's mum. I'm hoping that I will be able to put in a picture to show you either here or here, for you to see that. So that was another finished thing that I did. What else have we been doing? I have worked a little bit on my cross stitch. Again, I can't show you because it is for a friend that watches this podcast. Oh, I'm talking of my friend. Now this is the same friend, Beth. Hello, Beth. This is the same friend that has offered and is going to be making a pair of socks as part of a giveaway at some point. But also, what I forgot to mention last week is she is brilliant at cross stitch. Absolutely brilliant. She's been doing it for ever, and she makes some beautiful pieces. What she wanted me to put out there so we could just put some feelers out is Beth is thinking of setting up her own little business, whether it's Etsy or eBay or something, and what she wants to do is customize cross stitch kits. So if you had a photograph, so long as the pixels were high, if you had a nice photograph, then you'd be able to send that to her. She would then be able to chart it out for you and provide you with all the floss, the Ida, and what was needed to create that picture in cross stitch. It doesn't have to be a photograph, it could be a picture of something else. Again, you would send that to her and then she would be able to make that into cross stitch for you and send out it as a kit. Who would be interested in that? Do you think, guys, that there would be sufficient need for that? I personally think so. I have seen other people do similar things to this, not necessarily saying send him a photograph and I'll make a kit up, but obviously there are people out there who design their own patterns and do the kits. I think it's a very good idea personally. I think it's a lovely touch to give somebody, once it's made up, a gift to say, do you remember this picture of me and you at, I don't know, 20 years ago? This is what we were doing and I love this picture of us, and give it to them. Or maybe, you know, parents have got a wedding anniversary coming up and you do a cross stitch of that, whether it's just a lovely, I don't know, animal in a field that you've taken a picture of, your pet or something. I just think personally it's a wonderful idea. So yeah, I wanted to mention that. So if you could comment below and let me know what you think of that idea, then I would really appreciate that. Thank you, and so would Beth. Okay, talking of cross stitch, as I said in my last one, I am so random. I can't keep too structured. I'm just not like that as a person. My thoughts go all over the place, as you know, and I do go from one thing to another and back again, and I hope it doesn't give you a headache. I really do. But yeah, I'm not like that. I wish I was, and I do enjoy seeing people that are a little more structured. And you know, this is my FOs, this is my whips and everything, what's on my needles now, but I'm just all over the place. A bit like my brain, really. But what I was going to say now was I bought myself another cross stitch kit. I'd seen this before and I just thought, oh, that's so pretty, I really like that, let's have a go. I've not actually even got it out of the packaging properly yet. I just thought I'd show you. How pretty is that? It's so lovely, isn't it? I think it's so pretty. Especially this cup here. I just think it's lovely. So, and it's really good because look, for those that are new to it like me, really well, like the instructions and that. I mean, I have had a peek, but the floss and everything looks great. So I've had to really restrain myself from not starting that because I really want to, but I've got so many things on the go, projects on the go, that I thought, no, you'll have to wait. So I have waited. And talking about projects on the go, I do actually have things that I have cast on my needles that really I didn't need to cast on. Oh, now this is why I need to have notes, because then I can show you the ball band and where I got my yarn from, because I've caked it up. Actually, I am going to put in here some very funny pictures of my husband, who was helping me to transfer it from the skein to the cake when I was doing it with my yarn winder, ball winder. We got into such a tangle, it was hilarious. Well, I found it hilarious. And I said, Chris, just hold on, I have got to take photographs of this. And at one point, like I say, I will put pictures in here. I have said to him, I'm sorry, Chris, but that is going on the podcast. We cannot keep this laughter and fun to ourselves. We need to share it with everybody else. There is a picture of him holding the yarn kind of like this, and I'm sure at one point he's got it in his mouth as well. So funny. Anyway, so yeah, this is the yarn. It's so pretty. There's pinks. It's not quite coming up exactly right, but more or less. So there's lovely pinks, oranges, greens, browns, more like peachy colours as well. It's so pretty. There's not really much point even showing you this because I've only done 2 rows, but they're going to be socks. I did try the yarn first with something else, and I didn't like the way it was knitting up. So I thought, you know what, I think this yarn would look really nice in socks, and I think it will. So I'm just doing, I think it's the Unapologetic Knitter, my favourite vanilla sock pattern. That's the one I'm doing for this. And they were the first socks that I learnt to do just a few months ago. They're what these are and what all my other socks are. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I think they're going to look really pretty. So hopefully by the time next week comes around, I will have actually done a bit more so that we can see some proper progress. But yeah, they were cast-ons. And I will try and link what yarn it is and the lovely lady, because I got it from Etsy shop that yarn. Excuse me. Just need to have some coffee. Yum, 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 yum. What else? I also actually just want to mention, a lot of you out there will know these people. I'm fairly new to the YouTube world, so I am only just discovering people, but I have just come across the Bakery Bears, Dan and Kay. Hello! Oh, they're so lovely. They really are, and their outlook on life is fantastic. Well, one of the podcasts that I was watching of them, he had got his Star Wars book out, and it was so funny because I've got one very similar to that, Dan, that a friend bought me. Actually, the same friend bought me this book that I'm going to show you. I completely agree with you guys. This book here is full of everything that I've written down about the patterns that I'm not making any patterns because I'm too thick for that, but if I'm making something, I write everything down, because then I do find it does sink into my little mind that much better than just constantly, because I use PDFs a lot, downloads, you know, when I buy a pattern. Sometimes I'll print them out, but even still I will use this notebook and I will write down, right, this is where I am, this is, especially with my health as well and my concentration, sometimes I need something written down to just say, right, that's where I am, that's what I need to do next. Oh, that didn't work this time, I'm going to try that this time, or whatever. And also what I do as well is, well, what I did do when I first started was I put the labels for, say, the socks in my book. So on this one it's got Maddie, so I know that that was my youngest daughter and that was the yarn that I used for her. This one, Joel, that's my son, that's what I used for his. And I also have a little one at the front and just cut that off so I know how to wash them. And if I make some for somebody, I can say, oh yeah, that yarn was this and this is how you wash it, if I forget to tell them. And then I also wrote down foot measurements for us all, so I know how many stitches. It's really sad, isn't it, that I have two teenagers, one pre-teen. My oldest, well, her foot is the same length as mine, and then my 10-year-old and the middle one, their foot is bigger than mine. Okay. They do laugh at the fact that they are now taller than Mum. Well, Joel, the middle one, he's 13. He's not quite there yet. Aaliyah, the oldest, yep, she has now shot over me. And Maddie, she's only 10, but she's tall. She is a tall girl, and I'm short. I'm 5'4". And my husband, he's just under 6 foot, so not megally tall. I mean, like my dad and my brother, they're tall. They're like 6'4", 6'3". So we're not, well, obviously Chris ain't short, but I'm short. Short and stout, as they say. Anyway, I need to get off that subject, don't I? Because I'm going on a tangent now about how tall we all are in our family and what size feet we have. But yeah, I just wanted to say, Dan from the Bakery Bears, I do the same thing. I do, I write down everything because it does definitely sink into my mind a lot better. and helps me to remember them. What's this bag here I have to show you? Oh, so last week as well I showed you the sock that I was wearing, or that I had finished, one sock, excuse me a minute, for my dad, that I wasn't too happy about. It looks much better on, but just a quick show you again there. Don't actually like knitting in this yarn, to be honest. So I did cast on the sock again, and I am now at the length of the foot, so that I am doing. And then the contrast toe that I've been doing is with this yarn here. This is Premier Yarns Wool Free. I love knitting with this stuff, and it's so soft and it's just really nice to knit with. I use the ChiaoGoo needles. These ones are 12 inch. Last week I think I said 16 inch. 12 inch I think they are. 16 inch is too big to do socks, but they're 12 inch, and it just glides over the needles. It's so lovely. But yeah, it's West Yorkshire Spinners, this one, and it's very rough, and I do suffer with eczema and dry skin, so it's a bit scratchy for me, and I don't like it, to be honest with you. I love the colour, but I don't like just now I have to put it down, it's grating on me. Ooh, do you know what I mean? You know, like, oh, just forget it. Anyway, I don't like it, but I need to finish it. But this yarn is scrumptious. I've made, I think, 3 pairs of socks with this make yarn, and really enjoyed making it. I love the patterns that they do with this, you know, the self-striping pattern, and it just feels so nice, and it's squishy, and yeah, so that's that. And that is being kept, it's alright, I'm going mad. So that's for my sock, and I'm keeping that in my hedgehog bag from Amelia Joy, which you can find on Etsy. She does lovely bags, and I think I've shown this one before as well, that it's just a lovely size, really reasonable prices, lovely cord and pocket to keep your notions in as well, so love that bag. But then I also cast on something that I was working on yesterday, and the bag that I'm keeping it in I have shown before. I will show again. It was another one of my favourite bags. Like I say, these here were made from my beautiful friend Rachel. I love her lots. So hi Rachel. She made them, and she made this, and I keep them on there. And then this bag I bought from Donna in a Pickle Knitting, and I love it. And yeah, she's even put a little label there. So cute. Alice in Wonderland. I doubted myself then. As I was saying that, I was thinking, that's not Alice in Wonderland, is it? But it is, isn't it? So yeah, I do love that. And every time I look at it, I see something new, something different. And I know that may sound really bizarre, but yeah, it's so pretty. There's just so much lovely detail on that material. It's really nice. Anyway, what was I saying? I cast on another pair of socks. Now, this pattern is a paid for pattern, and it's I downloaded it, I haven't printed it out, and this was from Kay Jones at the Bakery Bears. oh, I can't remember what they are on Ravelry. Yeah, Ravelry and Etsy, I can't remember. If I remember, I'll try and link it. But this was the Three Chimneys, excuse me, I've even forgotten the actual name completely of the pattern. Excuse me. See, that's why it's good to have a book, because I've written it down. Three Chimneys textured pattern. Let's just hope that I've completely got that right now. Sock pattern by Kay Jones. Now this isn't the right yarn to use for this sock, I personally think, because it's such a beautiful pattern that the yarn that I've used doesn't show that enough. But I was so eager to try it. I am a novice knitter. Excuse me, I am a novice knitter, and I am still learning so much about knitting, and I just wanted to try something different. So I have a bag which I keep all my scraps in from making socks, and I actually had this yarn, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to cast it on and I'm going to try it. Now the pattern is done for DPNs and Magic Loop. I have never knit socks using DPNs or Magic Loop, so I did the best that I could to change that and do it for my preferred method, which it, well, I can't even say it's my preferred method because I've only done it this way. I have since bought myself some DPNs, which are just cheap ones in case I don't get on with them, because my reasoning is, why would you use 4 or 5 needles when you can just use one circular? But that's also because I get easily confused. So to me, using that amount of needles, I think I would get confused, and it's kind of put me off trying to make socks before. But I'm going to try it, and I have ordered myself just some cheap needles for now so that I can try the DPNs. So this is now everything I've used here is just in my stash, in my yarn stash. I've not gone out and bought any special yarn. I've done a contrast heel and heel flap, sorry, heel turn and heel flap in completely 2 different yarns and colours, and I will do that for the toe as well. Excuse me. But here is that lovely textured pattern. It is so pretty. I absolutely love it. Don't look too close, Kay, because you're one of the knitting masters, and I know in me I've made a mistake, but I think that's how it's supposed to look. It looks like that on your pattern. But I just love it. I really do, and I love how it gives it that stretch. I just love it. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. And I'd never done a 3x1 rib before. I've always done either 1x1 or 2x2. So that was the first time I did. This is how much of a novice I am. Did the 3x1 rib, which I like as well. And then for the heel flap, I decided to go for this pink that I had in my stash. And I tell you something, this heel flap is so easy to do. So easy, and it looks so pretty. I can't wait to get some proper yarn to do like a proper pair. And then I also have this yarn in my stash, and I've done the heel turn in this colour here, which I just think they both go really nicely with the sock. So that's what I'm using. That was caked up lovely at one point. So these are the yarns that I'm using for that sock. I just think it looks really pretty. But I'm like I say, I'm really enjoying this textured pattern. So I recommend, if you've not tried it, get on over and buy yourself this pattern. It is a thoroughly enjoyable knit. It really is. Everything's explained well as well in the pattern instructions. It's just oh, just noticed a mistake. Oh wow, it's just for somebody's feet. Put it quickly into the bag. But yeah, seriously, it is a really enjoyable pattern. The other thing that I have been working on this week is just the jumper for my friend Beth. Oh. I don't think I've really done that much more than the last time I showed you last week. Love this grey though. I do love this grey yarn. And these I knit with my Knit Pros. I like knit. They're not knit. I can't remember if they're Knit Pros or not. I think they are. You'll probably be able to tell me, guys. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Knit Pro Symphony. Oh, I can't think. Do you know what? I've been rattling on for 32 minutes, so I think it's time I wound it down. Oh, other thing I wanted to show you before I go is I said to you that I was going to do a giveaway. And one of those things was going to be, is going to be a pair of socks for one of you who win it. And also I'm doing stitch markers, handmade stitch markers. Before I started recording this, I have just put together 4 little stitch markers. Oh, it's not in focus, is it? Let's see if it'll work on here. Now, there is more for me to make and to do. This is just a little teaser, if you like, the sort of thing that they're going to be. Is that in focus properly? It's quite bright today in here. It's not in focus, is it? Is that in focus? Can you see that all right? So there's a hedgehog on there, a mermaid, a turtle, and a seahorse. And then they've just got little beads on. And thank you so much. I'm so sorry that I don't think they're in focus properly, are they? I'm not going to know properly until I see this back. But from what I can see on screen, it's not in focus. Let's see whether this works. I'm giving up. Sorry, I'm just being daft now, aren't I? I hope that you can see them alright, but that's just a little taster of what the stitch markers are going to be like. That's it for today. Do you know what? I've gone over by 10 minutes. I really hope that I haven't been too all over the shop for you, that I've brought a smile to your lovely faces. I do appreciate, like I said before, all the lovely comments and subscribers, the likes that you give. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, I'm happy to continue, and I'm just enjoying myself. And I think I was about to say, and I stopped, but thank you to Tina from Simply in Stitches. I sent her a message and I was like, what are those thingamajigs that you keep your stitch markers on? Because before I'd made them for a giveaway and I'd just put them on a piece of yarn, and I'd seen these about before, and I'm thinking, oh, what are they called? And they're the wine charms for wine bottles, and it's a great idea to keep them on there. So thank you, Tina, for that. And hello. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna say goodbye for now, and I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. It really does mean a lot, and I know I've said that so many times, but I'm gonna say goodbye, and thank you for sticking it out with me for this long. You really are beginning to see more of my personality now, so I hope that subscribers go up rather than down. Anyway, you take care, have a beautiful week and weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye for now, guys.